when you lost. There's always a hope. Rise and fight.
Hello and welcome back everyone once again to another BSL15. We are finally in the grand finals. We have the best of the best from around the world still in this, and joining me today is my good co-commentator, Mr. Nyokin. Nyokin, how's it going, buddy?
I'm doing good, Machine. We were talking behind the scenes that we've got a lot of epic potential playoffs of this bracket. You know, you got Bonyth could have an epic comeback. Dawid could be first-time champion. We could have a three-peat Chinese winner. A lot of epic stories potentially going into this finals.
Yeah, man. As you say it, everyone's been calling out Dawid for a number of seasons here, and he's gotten very, very close. He's obviously had those competitive epic matches, but he's yet to pull out that gold. Looking likely with him in the winner's bracket final, but you can't count out Bonyth ever, and you can't count out Zhanhun either. And that's actually going to end up being our first match of the day. We got the big Bonyth, multiple-time BSL champ, going up against Zhanhun, who's really had a breakout season once again, taking out the dominant Mihu, even before getting to the regional stage, during the regional stage, before getting to the international stage. And I mean, man, he's pulled out some big upsets already so far this season, and he's kind of posturing himself to maybe be able to take out the Bonyth, but you can't count out Bonyth PvP, man. He's got those magic reavers. His scarabs actually hit things. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah, and Bonyth last season ended up losing to Zhanhun, so he is definitely aware of his style now. He could watch the games of Dawid versus Zhanhun yesterday to get an even clearer read. I mean, usually when I start a day, I think, okay, this is the matchup of the day. But obviously the finals, that's the clear matchup of the day. But regardless of whoever comes out of the bottom side, Dawid versus Bonyth, that's going to be epic. Dawid versus Zhanhun, that's going to be a rematch of yesterday, which was also epic. So really, it doesn't matter to me who comes out of the bottom side, because we know the finals is going to be amazing.
Yeah, the finals, without fail, best of 7, obviously going to be just epic. You mentioned yesterday's games between Dawid and Zhanhun, and I found it surprising because when you compared the series of Zhanhun versus Bonyth last season, it felt like Zhanhun just every conflict came out with like a few more probes and almost like won the war of attrition. And then the exact same thing happened for Dawid, it felt like, against Zhanhun. He found himself with the faster expansion, with the more advanced economy time and time again in that series. And although it was a close series, right, 3-2, that final game, what a freaking comeback from Dawid to end up dethroning Zhanhun and moving his way into the grand finals. So it's going to be kind of interesting to see how Bonyth maybe reacts to yesterday's games, Zhanhun's play, and what kind of strategy he might try to develop going into this.
Yeah, yesterday during the interview with Dawid, I found it surprising that he said he thought he was going to 3-0, because when I think of PvP superstar, I mean, of course, Dawid is great at PvP, but the clear favorite in PvP in the foreign scene has always been Bonyth. And like I said last season, Zhanhun beat Bonyth. So when Dawid mentioned that he thought he was going to win 3-0 versus Zhanhun, I was like taken aback. It's like, wait, what? This guy beat Bonyth last season. But that means that Dawid has definitely studied Zhanhun. Bonyth clearly, well, I'm assuming he's studied Zhanhun too. This should be an exciting series. I don't think we're going to have a repeat of last season where it was clear out micro, clear out macro from Zhanhun versus Bonyth. I think Zhanhun ended up winning 3-1. I think it's going to definitely be closer this time around. And we do know what the bans were. It was Gladiator and what was the other one? And Butter. Okay, Butter. So this is actually going to be first pick Zhanhun, and he's decided that he wants to go into Vermeer. So I'm ready if you're ready, Machine.
Yeah, man, I'm absolutely ready to get this one rocking and rolling here. It's going to be Zhanhun versus Bonyth, game number 1 on Vermeer. Let's get to it. Ooh, and spawning top left as that red Protoss hailing from Poland. It is Bonyth.
In the bottom right, our blue Chinese Protoss. It is Zhanhun. And the way you were opening there, I was excited. I was like, wait a minute, is there a probe out in the center of the map? But there is not. We are just gonna have standard openers.
It's cross map. That's why I'm happy, man. It's Vermeer. It's one of the biggest maps in this map pool, and we got an automatic cross map position from the start here. I don't want to see any of that fancy nonsense now. I don't need to see proxy DTs. I don't want to see gateways. I want to see nexuses. I want to see mass goons. I want to see some Reaver speed shuttle flying across the map here, and an epic 30-minute game. That's why I'm happy, man. This is exactly how I wanted this match to kick off.
Well, you might get it, because yesterday we got a ton of macro games in PvP, only a couple all-ins. I guess the last game was the most all-in in terms of openers, but it ended up transitioning into an amazing mid-game. Now, I have to point out that Bonyth Pylon was extremely forward, and we're going to see why here, because that's a 2-gate machine, and unluckily for Bonyth, he doesn't have close spawns. It is going to be cross spawn, so I wonder how he's going to transition this.
I mean, I've seen Bonyth do the cross map scout with the probe here. Doesn't look like he's opting for it this time, but if he knew that Zhanhun was bottom right, I doubt he'd be going for that 2-gate here. Still, it's a very safe, very standard build. It's not the first time Bonyth's had to maneuver his way out of a 2-gate cross map position. He knows what he's doing here, but if I had to give a slight edge, I'd say Zhanhun maybe getting a little better of the builds here just to start things off.
Yeah, and yesterday I remember Zhanhun and Dawid both never skipped Zealot. There was never a game where they skipped a Zealot. I think there was one game where both players built 2. So I'm sure Zhanhun will not be caught off guard with just a single goon for defense. Yep, there's the Zealot as I stated, but probably not going to be a second Zealot. So this probe needs to figure out what's going on. I like how the Zealot is extremely far forward, so he's not going to get any vision up the ramp. He's not going to be able to see that. Oh, he does see the second gate. I can't believe that gave vision.
Yeah, I kind of can't either. 3 Zealots, though, going to be moving across the map here for Bonyth. Still, Zhanhun, plenty of time to react to this. Should have his first Dragoon momentarily here. Bonyth's just kind of have to do Bonyth things here. If he slips 1 or 2 of these Zealots in, somehow, is able to grab a couple probes, he could really make this worth it. But wow, look at that control from Zhanhun. Not going to allow that probe to get into the main. First Dragoon out already. And yeah, I don't know. This is looking pretty good for Zhanhun here just to kick things off.
Yeah, and killing the probe is fantastic. You don't have to worry about it being on the map. Did this guy hide a proxy somewhere? I mean, PvP doesn't strike me as a map where you are getting proxied often, but it's always nice to know that, hey, I got rid of that thing. Don't have to worry about proxy, don't have to worry about a secondary scout. Yeah. And meanwhile, Zhanhun has kept his alive, so Bonyth does still need to be aware that, hey, something could be coming in to try and figure out what's going on. Now, behind this, Zhanhun's not going for anything frisky. It looks like it's just going to be a second gate with range.
Yeah, that's a little odd. I was definitely expecting Robo here, because Bonyth obviously moved back with the Zealots. Zhanhun would have known that Bonyth would already be attacking with those Zealots if he was moving across the map. So I don't know. It feels like both players just kind of content with playing a little more passive than normal here, which is good, right? Given their positions.
Yeah, and it is the Robo follow-up like you stated before the second gate. Meanwhile, Robo is slightly ahead for Bonyth. I think he has skipped range to get it that quickly, though. I saw that his cybernetics was not spinning at all. Now it just starts. So he's going to have slightly delayed range. And, you know, a lot of Protoss players poke with their goons to try and get a gauge, like, okay, does this guy have range or not? Because a lot of times when there's no range, signals DTs. Yesterday we saw Zhanhun go Observer every single game as his opener, so I expect to see, again, Observer from him.
But he was doing, like, Observer into DT.
Yeah, he was doing both.
That game versus DeWalt really threw me off, honestly. You know, the one where DeWalt had such a magnificent lead early, and then the DT, 2DT timing really just hindered his economy, just crushed that probe count. Walking in at the most opportune time. I wonder if he could maybe go for something like that again.
Yeah, he could, I guess, but he's looking to put down another Nexus, and actually Bonyth is the one that puts down a Nexus a little bit quicker than Zhanhun. I feel like both DeWalt and Bonyth must have really watched a lot of Zhanhun's games to get this read, because they're willing to take a fast Nexus. Like, Bonyth doesn't even have range right now. You got to keep that in mind. Like, if there's a goon fight, Zhanhun outright wins the goon fight easily without the range for Bonyth.
Wait, you're saying having twice the amount of Dragoons as your opponent's a good thing?
And you got range advantage? That's insane.
I'm not that good with the math, but, checks out. I trust you.
Well, I noticed that Bonyth has 5 Zealots, which is interesting, right? Because Zealots aren't exactly the unit you want to build when somebody has mass goons like Zhanhun has. So I wonder what he's planning to do with these 5 Zealots. Is he going to rush Citadel as a follow-up quickly? I thought I saw a support bay in his main.
Ooh, nice catch on that Observer by Zhanhun. It looks like Bonyth's Observer going to be sniped here. Bonyth will get to see the Dragoon count before that Obs falls, but still, nice pickup there from Zhanhun. Good awareness as expected. Still, though, he is not going to be happy to see this Nexus with this first Obs flying in. Man, he's got to be thinking, does anyone take me seriously? Come on. I had such a good start, versus a 2-gate opener cross map, and you're just going to put a Nexus down? I guarantee you, Zhanhun's a little tilted. And yeah, we're seeing the tilt move across the map here.
Yeah, even though the Nexus was slightly faster for Bonyth, Zhanhun shouldn't really worry about it too much. If he clicks the mineral patch, he should see, okay, maybe this guy mined 1 or 2 more cycles at the NAT, and that's it. But one big difference for Bonyth right now is he's already taken his NAT gas. So he's really prioritizing that heavy tech. And I'm looking at Zhanhun's army. I was expecting it to be bigger, but it seems tiny. That's just 9 units. I counted at least 6 Zealots. Yes, 6 Zealots, 5 goons, and a Reaver. So Zhanhun can't even do anything about this.
No, he definitely can't. It's that double Obs early, man. Yes, he did pick up an Observer, but when you're pick off an Observer, but when you're making that double Obs, you're not getting shuttles, you're not getting additional Reavers here. So he seems content with just the defensive Reaver at the natural, but as you stated, there's really not much aggressive potential out of Zhanhun now that Bonyth has that first Reaver out of his own.
Yeah, I'm just watching that gas from Bonyth. It's so high right now. I feel like he must be banking it to go into a lot of Archons, like we saw DeWalt go for yesterday. You remember he morphed 2 or 3 and went for a push. And he's floating 600 gas. I realize goons are gas intensive, so are Reavers. I don't think you can use up all that gas that quickly. So I'm expecting to see Templar coming down pretty soon. Now that's a speed shuttle, and we do have a little bit of vision. But look how Zhanhun's making all the units at the front stay there while the shuttle comes in the main.
Oh, not much of a reaction. There we go. Probe's finally moving, but wow, big Scarab Connect takes out a good 10 probes. Another one as well. Oh man, that is painful for Bonyth here. Zhanhun finding his little window of opportunity and getting some big econ damage. Yeah, this is going to be a hard one to follow up, right? That was a lot of probes that have fallen now for Bonyth here. And although Zhanhun doesn't have Reaver, I don't know. There's just so much travel time from natural to natural here. It's a little questionable if Bonyth's going to be able to hit his big timing.
Well, wait a minute. Look at Zhanhun. I realize he's trying to set up this weird counterattack, but Okay, now he spots us. Like, wait a minute, he's gonna just totally miss this. And Bonyth's gonna be like, where the hell did this come from? We're gonna have a base trade scenario. I don't think Bonyth can turn around for this, so he's gonna have to try and hold his ramp with just goons and probes. Yeah, he's going for it. We're gonna have both players lose their nat. Surprisingly, Bonyth's supply is even. I don't know how that happened after he lost so many probes, but he's in a big trouble right now. But look at that nat, it's gone for both sides.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. Zhanhun doing a great job, doing some good damage to Bonyth's nat here. Probes being pulled from Zhanhun, and actually those Zealots kind of coming in handy here, tanking quite a bit of that Reaver fire. Wow, nice pickup and load up by Bonyth, picks off the first Reaver. I mean, this is just amazing control.
I was gonna say, I think Bonyth has it, but like his Reavers are connecting better than Zhanhun's. He also has the shuttle. If he can eliminate that Reaver, I think he's got it. Even though supplies are in favor of Zhanhun right now, if he can get rid of the Reaver, oh, he lost one of them. Zhanhun, amazing control. It looks like Zhanhun's just barely going to hold this, and Bonyth, he is not going to take down the Nexus, is he? Okay, he does get the Nexus, but 20 supply lead for Zhanhun right now. It looks like that shuttle might be stuck also.
Oh, barely gets out. Very well done. But at the same time, man, these 6 Dragoons of Zhanhun just cleaning up. There's nothing here really that can defend, it feels like, anymore. 2 goons popping out for Bonyth. Robo is unpowered. Yeah, this could honestly be it, just right here from Zhanhun.
Yeah, it looks like just barely Bonyth is going to fall. That was the clutch shuttle timing from Zhanhun. Remember those Reavers that Zhanhun had? He had no shuttle for a long time. So easily Bonyth could have out-microed him, but as soon as that shuttle ended up coming into play, ended up killing one of Bonyth's Reavers, saved his own, and that is all Zhanhun needed. Now he's up 50 supply. I realize Bonyth has his nat, but look at the probe count. Non-existent, see ya shuttle. That means see ya Bonyth, because he's about to tap out with that Reaver falling.
Yeah, Bonyth probably just kind of collecting his thoughts here. There's nothing left to really defend this Reaver shuttle, and I mean, Zhanhun, even winning in the Dragoon department here, has more probes. That was an interesting decision by Zhanhun to kind of hide his army at the 3rd and go for the counter here. But it's a good way to kind of kick off this series here. It's got to be, you know, a little bit of a tilter there for Bonyth to, you know, think like, oh man, I just didn't check my own 3rd. And at the same time, it's not like Zhanhun had an obs out front or something like that that could, you know, detect a move out. He was purely waiting on, you know, for a probe moving across the map. So really, really well done here, you know, from Zhanhun at the beginning of this series.
Yeah, like you said, he had no vision, so I was like watching, like, well, man, you're just gonna let Bonyth walk across, but that probe interception in the center of the map was perfect from Zhanhun. You know, really, we're just waiting for the GG to come out. There's no way Bonyth can recover. He's gonna try with a single Reaver. I mean, he's got good Reaver control, but this is an absurd advantage right now. I mean, almost triple supply for Zhanhun. There's a total of 10 probes for Bonyth. That's it. He's not even mining gas.
Yeah, there's really just not much of a recovery from here. I don't think Bonyth's able to really get any vision out on the map, obviously, to tell what type of a position he's in. So he's, you know, he's Bonyth, man. He's coming here to fight. He's gonna try to, you know, grind his way out of this position. But I mean, it would be a miracle to come back from here. Looks like Zhanhun just kind of content with the contain outside the natural. That, I mean, there's nothing really for Bonyth that can kind of snipe this forward shuttle from Zhanhun. Looks like Bonyth is going to try a move out here. He's got a Reaver and a speed shuttle. Oh, Obs goes down for Zhanhun, so nice little pickup there, denying some vision.
We got the elevator outside of the base. I mean, moves like this could work if the supplies were closer.
Look at that.
Why would Zhanhun ever do that? Like, what?
Yeah.
Why would you go over here? And it was the perfect move. Right when Bonyth starts doing it, he moves into position.
Yeah, that was a nice little pickup here. Zhanhun's rally going to catch these Dragoons of Bonyth. There's just too many numbers here, it feels like, for Zhanhun, so this will obviously fall. yet another good trade here for Zhanhun, closing off all options here for Bonyth.
Yep, 3 goons remaining with that small attack. And this is the move out from Bonyth. There's just no hope for this. The army counts too low. He gets the Reavers, which is insane, but still taps out in the end.
Man, I mean, the fact that he just gets the Reavers at the end there, that's a little bit of a mental win if you're Bonyth, for sure. But still, Zhanhun, man, what an epic game from him. Game number 1 there. That, like, hide the army at the third, I feel like is something you don't see very often, especially if you're, these guys, right? So, but it ended up being the play. You know, as you stated, he just caught Bonyth at such an awkward time. There was no way Bonyth could just turn around and hope to save everything, and he had to, do the best he could to push in. But man, he was prepared. So it was really well done there from Zhanhun.
Yeah, nicely done from John. Because I thought that I liked Bonyth's position better. He had more zealots. He had almost an equal amount of goons. Had same Reaver count. It looked to me like he had more probes. I would have to watch the replay, but the fact that he was mining his nat efficiently and also had 3 on gas at his nat, like I'm watching it and I was actually thinking to myself, this looks exactly like last season, except it's Bonyth out macroing Zhanhun here. It's not the other way around. So even though Bonyth loses there, I don't think he should think too much about it if he watches the replay. I imagine he would probably see he's up in probes. Probably better army comp. He just got caught with that backstab.
Yeah, I was thinking the exact same thing. That natural gas timing, the probe count, the fact that he had a faster nexus after a 2-gate opener cross map, everything there was pointing that like Bonyth was playing very well given the opener that he was dealt, let's say. But yeah, Zhanhun still just making the best of the situation. With pretty sneaky, little timing there, and it ended up working out for him. But you're absolutely right. Bonyth there was no difference in macro there for the most part. In fact, had the better macro towards the end. I would have liked to, like you were saying, Bonyth just kind of sit back, maybe get to that Templar tech and maybe use his gas advantage to go for, a couple Archons or something like that before hitting the timing. But, these guys obviously know PvP a lot better than us.
Yeah, just a little bit better. I mean, if you watch my PvP, you ain't going to see a Reaver. You probably ain't even going to see Goons or Zealot either. You just see DTs and Carriers, which I don't think either of those units are going to be built unless somebody decides they want to mix it up really hard, going for a single or a couple of DTs.
I don't know, man. Maybe you're just ahead of the meta here.
Yeah.
The world isn't ready for cannon DT carrier PvP.
Yes. Something like that.
All right, and next map going to be Overwatch. Definitely a Bonyth favorite here. We've seen him dismantle pretty much everybody he plays on this map. I really feel like this is one of his better picks here. So yeah, should be a pretty interesting map for game number 2 here between these two. And with that, our players are ready. Let's it's going to be Bonyth versus Zhanhun, game number 2 on Overwatch. And spawning top left as the blue Protoss on his favorite map, it is StarCraft Bonyth.
Yep, and in the bottom right, our red Protoss, it is Zhanhun. I'm trying to think back to yesterday. Who's the one that scouted for the proxies? Was it Zhanhun or was it the Walt?
I'm trying to remember.
I think it was Zhanhun. I really want to see somebody go for a proxy, but if it's Zhanhun that actually scouted yesterday, because I remember somebody scouted, like mid left, for example, whoever spawned top left. I remember them scouting that position and thinking, okay, this guy's definitely worried about proxy. So if it's Zhanhun that scouted, I don't want to see Bonyth go for proxy. But if it was not Zhanhun, then I do want to see Bonyth go for something like that. Maybe not on Overwatch, but maybe on something like Sylphid. Actually, it was DeWalt that scouted for proxies, because remember, Sylphid, he went for that bottom scout very weirdly,
yes,
then straight across the center.
Yeah, he scouted like one of the like high ground like expansion bases.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, it was Dawid. Okay, you're right. I mean, maybe that is a way you could punish a player like Zhanhun, right? You never really expect a player like Bonyth to go for proxy gates, but sometimes the game just calls for it. Zhanhun's such a Zhanhun actually scouting for proxies mid right, probably a pretty smart call there. So he's aware and he is worried about it, especially on a 2-player map. I don't know. My thoughts are, if you're gonna proxy gate, do it on a map like Butter, right? 2-player map, you know where your opponent's gonna spawn. It's such a long rush distance that a lot of Protoss like to get away with going 1-gate gas anyway. I don't know. I think Butter's a good map for proxies personally.
Yeah, there's a lot of proxy positions on Butter, but
Yeah.
unfortunately that map's been banned by
Oh.
Zhanhun, I think. So
Right.
ends up not going to be a possibility, but still, Sylphid's still in the map pool. I mean, Monopoly's still in the map pool, but you can't proxy in the center, so I don't know exactly where you would proxy there, but could still see it. Regardless, we ain't seeing it this time around, and I do notice that Cybernetics not spinning, at least not just yet. Both players banking that 150 gas. Okay, there it gets spent by Bonyth, and I think that was actually 150 for him that he spent, so it's not going to be like a fake weapon damage upgrade.
Yeah. Probably, it's nice always just getting that safety range here early. Good Manor Pylon going down as well, trapping a probe by Zhanhun. I don't know. At the same time, Overwatch, like such a big map, what's really the advantage of having that like second or two faster of range? I would expect both of these players seeing their opponent's position going to like just a standard 1-gate robo, Obs Reaver type play here.
Look at what Zhanhun's doing. This looks like it's going to be DeWalt's opener for Monopoly. He's pulled off of gas. Everything looks exactly like that, like that's going to be the case. Meanwhile, Bonyth is content with sitting with 3 on gas, so he's going to rush 1-gate robo. And I'm trying to think, did we ever see this play out? I think we did see this on Monopoly. What ended up happening was DeWalt put down 3 gates, did this what I thought was a weird attack at like 6 goons, eliminated a lot of the goons of Bonyth, and then he just had so many gates afterwards, ended up overrunning Zhanhun when he pushed out.
Yeah, that's exactly what this looks like. It's funny because I don't think I've seen Zhanhun do this build before. Really, against DeWalt or Bonyth previously. So I feel like Zhanhun's been very standard as far as like just opening like 2-gate robo into expansion. That this is kind of a nice play from him, just because I know Bonyth is probably studying yesterday's games, and maybe this adjustment is really what he needs to maybe gain a slight advantage.
Well, look at this. You see Bonyth poked in with range, and he noticed that Zhanhun did not have it at first. Now, I think it kicked in right there, but that probably, or it could have signaled to him, like, okay, this might be DT. So, Observatory, instantly puts that down. And I love Zhanhun's opener here. I think of all maps that you're going to do this particular build on, this is the map, simply because there's no planet where a Protoss is moving across that tiny bridge. They're going to be obligated to go to the bottom side and then hook around, which buys you a couple seconds, right? And sometimes that's all you need is a couple seconds to get 1, 2, 3 additional goons and potentially hold a push. So I think this is the perfect map to go for what Zhanhun's going for.
Totally agree. Also, how do you scout it, right? A lot of the other 4-player maps, you can at least have an option to sneak a probe in, scout for a nexus, but there's no chance of that here on Overwatch.
Yeah, exactly. No chance at all. Bonyth is sending a probe out, but I don't know if this is to build like proxy pylons for vision or what he's intending to do with this. But right now, he's just content with sitting it on the high ground. And that's, I realize it's only 1 probe, but that's 1 probe that could be mining versus a guy that already has a nexus up and running at his natural. And Bonyth opened Observer. And look at the Observer. It's not moving across because the lack of rain looked like it could have been DT. And these are massive donations coming in, Machine. You see this? $200 Vanguard. I saw 69 a minute ago, and I saw 100 a minute ago too. Thank you guys so much. We're getting closer and closer to the 10K goal.
Yeah, I saw Zeke even donating during the rush too. Man, it's the grand finals day. This is the day to shell out the tips, man. Well,
Exactly.
ooh, Robo even down in the main here for Zhanhun. So probably going to be moving towards that observer tech just in case Bonyth makes an adjustment. Bonyth moving out here. Shuttle maybe getting caught. Nope. It's actually going to be a very quick pickup. And maybe if Bonyth sprints across the map here, he might be able to catch Zhanhun out of position with this units.
Oh my gosh, we're gonna have another base trade scenario. Both players are going for counterattacks. But
Fox
remember,
Henry
this time
subbed
around,
Gochi for
Zhanhun does
16
not
months.
have a Reaver. However, Bonyth has absolutely no units. He's scrambling to get up that pylon wall, which he does clutch, just like DeWalt did yesterday. But Goons have really high DPS. Another clutch pylon.
Wow.
But I don't think this is enough. Look how many
I'm-
Goons Zhanhun has on the ramp.
And the Reaver as well. Yeah, I mean, I think both players are just going to eviscerate the other's base, honestly. Like, there's just nothing here from Zhanhun to be able to hold so many Dragoons and Reaver shuttle on the low ground, but vice versa. I mean, Zhanhun has a sizable Dragoon army in his main. Oh, probe transfer going down, but the Scarab whiffs. Oh, okay. Very nice.
Yeah, but I actually see Bonyth not really spending much of his money, and I think that's smart because remember, he has the Reaver, which needs Scarabs to actually be useful. Actually, well, okay, what needs to happen now is that single probe that Bonyth has on the map, you see that? He can actually go and build buildings. He can send the, yeah, he realized he's just gonna have a base trade scenario, but he's saving money. He's trying to get enough for a Nexus. Oh, I can't believe the Reaver falls. So Zhanhun's not out of it, but look at the supply, 47 to 32. But the question to me is, how many goons does Zhanhun have on the other side of the map? Can it beat just 6 goons? No, it can't. It's just 5.
Oh, but he's got a couple more out front. This is so even. This is insane to me, actually. I mean, yeah, all mining has been shut down for Zhanhun. These nexuses are basically useless at this point. But Bonyth has 800 minerals.
Oh, okay, it's 7 goons on high ground with 800 minerals, like you said, so he can afford a Nexus. Zhanhun can't. So this is Bonyth's game to take. What I would like to see him there is complete the pylon wall with Zhanhun there, help him out, and then build a battery, and then build a Nexus. Because you can use that battery forever, and you're not going to lose a fight 7 goons versus 7 goons.
Yeah, there's just no way, honestly. Ooh, he even shows the Nexus. So Zhanhun going to be forced to fight up this ramp here. But man, Bonyth, you better make it back to that ramp in time, man. Please. Okay,
yeah,
looks like
get
you.
there.
Okay. First Dragoon arriving here for Zhanhun. He's going to have to fight up this high ground.
Yeah, but look how he's not attacking the pylons because okay, he's sort of not attacking the pylons because that funnels in the units. Well, just like this, Zella gets in. That's a great poke drill. Look how it blocks the ramp.
Oh my
6
god!
versus 1. Amazing. That means that there's no chance of Zhanhun winning.
Yeah, absolutely no chance, man. Bonyth has done it here. That pro block, oh my god, that is going to go down in the history of pro blocks. That was just fantastic from Bonyth there. And he taps out. GG is called. Bonyth taking a very epic game number 2. Man, I mean, he just kind of proved, hey, all right, if you want to do this this base trade style, man, I could do this too, you know? Like, he gets the Nexus down in the main, had the money, as you stated, that he needed to be able to even just, like, have a follow-up after such a chaotic game. And Bonyth, man, he pulls it out in game number 2. Very well done.
Yeah, that was wild. You know, again, Zhanhun had the jump on the counterattack, and I was thinking, man, is he really going to have... is he really just going to rely on this counterattack and just sit on the high ground with... I mean, he had 4 gates. He had a Robo. He didn't have a support bay. I thought he might be able to buy time to get a Reaver out himself and just whittle down the goons of Bonyth, and Bonyth wouldn't be able to deal with potentially a turnaround from Zhanhun. But good crisis management from Bonyth. Like, that's... you got to be very confident to make a counterattack like that. But he made it work.
Yeah, you really have to. I don't know what caused him to choose to like base trade instead of pulling the units back, because he did have that moment where he saw Bonyth moving out on the map, you know, went for the shuttle snipe, didn't happen. I think if he pulled back to his natural, you know, maybe would have stood a little bit better of a chance. But either way, man, that's why Bonyth is king, man. He's got such good crisis management, as you say, in these close neck-to-neck PvPs. Like, that's really what it comes down to, honestly. So with that, Bonyth once again tying up this best of 5 series 1-1 against Zhanhun. But with this, you know, obviously Overwatch is Bonyth's map. We've talked about how strong he is on that map in particular. But from here, it's going to actually be Zhanhun's map selection. So maybe he'll feel a little bit more comfortable on a bigger map like a Vermeer that we saw game 1, or yeah, I'm not sure exactly what he'll end up picking here. We know it's not going to be Butter, but you know, could be interesting.
Yeah, he's decided on Monopoly. I remember yesterday, Dawid beat Zhanhun on Monopoly, and what beat Zhanhun yesterday was the build that Zhanhun just pulled out on Overwatch, the 3-gate or the Nexus into 3-gate, and it beat the Robo play that Bonyth just pulled out. So I'm not too sure if a move like that will end up working on Monopoly. I mean, Monopoly has those long pathways, but also the low ground into high ground ramp as you're moving across. I mean, it could work if he postures his goons on the high ground in a good position, but I don't know. That, like you said last game, that was the first time we saw, I think, Zhanhun pull out a move like that. He may feel like he needs to go back to 1-gate Robo 2-gate like we saw yesterday.
I mean, it's definitely his bread and butter, that 1-gate Robo 2-gate. He just has very like standard solid PvP is what I think about when I think of Zhanhun playing in general. But yeah, Monopoly, quite a fun map for PvP. As you stated, those naturals can be a little tricky to engage it. It's like such a weird choke point, I feel like. But yeah, we'll have to see how this one goes. It's going to be game number 3 here between Bonyth and Zhanhun on Monopoly. Let's see it. And spawning top left as the red Protoss from Poland, it is Bonyth.
And in the mid-right in the blue, we got the one and only, it is Zhanhun. And I'm looking at that pylon placement for both sides. It's not extremely forward for Bonyth like we saw on Vermeer. It is kind of close to the ramp though. So I guess we still have the option for that 2-gate that we saw. Remember, it is also 3-player. Monopoly does have short rush distance, so it wouldn't surprise me to be a 2-gate.
I was thinking the same thing here. Bonyth, in general, I feel like loves 2-gates. He's one of the few to go 1-base 2-gate versus Erg still, I feel like, and mix it into his play like quite often. So wouldn't surprise me if he maybe opted to go for some type of a 10-11 gate here.
Yeah, I think Cork was mentioning to me that the 10-12 gate is called the Bonyth gates. I'm looking. Here we go. There's the 12. No, it's just going to be a scout. I was getting excited. I thought, okay, we're going to see it. But not the case. He is just going to go for a normal scout timing.
Mirrored builds, mirrored scout timings for both players here. But Bonyth, with the luck of the Polish here, going to get the first scout off on Zhanhun. So, I mean, that's a big advantage in, such a close series like this.
Yeah, because likely the Zealot's going to be out by the time the probe tries to get to top left. I did notice that Bonyth skipped his Zealot for a long time, just now starting it. So maybe Zhanhun can get across the map in time, but I don't think so. So this is going to be a denied scout from Bonyth, and now Zhanhun's going to have to take a guess on what exactly Bonyth is doing.
I mean, maybe Bonyth doesn't make the Zealot, but I mean, probably. Like you said, these guys really don't skip Zealot anymore for like PvP. Yep.
Yeah, I feel like if there's a map that you're never gonna skip Zealot on, this would be the one, because it's a ramp where like the probe has no chance of getting in. There's no way that you misplace the Zealot. So of all the maps, definitely don't want to skip here. Now, is he going to try and get cute with that probe? Because the probe does have slightly more range, right? And I have seen people try and harass But I can't, Machine, I can't feel bad for you if you lose your probe like that. Like, the Zealot 3 shots probes, man. They have high DPS. It's hard, it's hard for me to justify that move there. He just loses it instantly.
Yeah, that I know. I feel like you definitely can't be doing that kind of stuff, honestly, especially with such a big game's on the line. Well, I mean, that's good for Bonyth here. Denies that scouting, still has scouting in the main, sees 2 Zealot opener from Zhanhun. Has only the Dragoon and range for himself so far. And Bonyth really getting some fantastic scouting info here. Oh, don't tell me. Okay. I thought he was making it out of there.
Oh, he canceled. He canceled range and put down the Citadel. Now, that probe was in the base for a while. He may have got trailing vision. You know, just because you leave the base doesn't mean you have lost vision completely. So this is interesting from Zhanhun. He goes for a mix-up here, and this could catch Bonyth off guard, but the Robo time's at the exact same time as the Citadel. And based on last game, he just left his Observer there. I feel like he's probably going to do the same thing.
Still, it didn't stop, you know, him from getting some major damage against Dawid. I mean, that DT walk-in timing versus Dawid was something special. I mean, the DT was on the edge of the Observer vision, he was looking for it, and yet he still knew the perfect timing to walk it in and deal like just massive damage to his economy. So, you know, just because it's Observer tech doesn't mean you can't really count it out, I guess.
Yeah, well, Bonyth again poking with these guns, because remember, he saw the cybernetic spinning, and I like how Zhanhun retreats to his high ground, because now it's never going to give away the fact that he skipped range, right? Like, there's no way that Bonyth is going to be able to poke with these goons and get a real tell that this was canceled. So this was a smart move from Zhanhun to move back, but at the same time, probably Bonyth was thinking, like, wait a minute, didn't you have 2 Zealots and 3 goons? Why are you running from 3 goons?
Yeah, I feel like Bonyth has already sniffed it out. We see that observatory going down there for Bonyth. First shuttle already completed. He's got and even a support bay as well. I don't know, man. You sometimes I feel like these, you know, epic players like Bonyth, they just know too much. They can sense too much just by that retreat up the, you know, ramp. There's no hiding from them, I feel like.
Well, there's the Observer, and it all comes down to this. Where does that Observer go? Last game, it sat at the natural and did not move for a long time. And is he going to do it again? Uh-oh. Uh-oh! But will he intercept the Dark Templar? That's the question. The answer is he is going to intercept it, but does he see it? Oh, he turns around, but the Dark Templar is slightly quicker.
Block your ramp, Bonyth!
Yeah, you gotta run to your ramp, dude.
Run!
Okay, or you can block right here. Oh!
No, he
lets it in!
Oh my god, dude. Oh, 2 DTs though.
The Observer!
Move the Observer!
Stop!
Please, you're gonna give me a heart attack. Okay,
I
get
think
the Observer.
I think Zhanhun could... Oh, I thought Zhanhun... Oh, wow. Did he really just bait this? Was he trying to wait for the whole army to come in here so he could just slam it?
Yeah, sure. Let's.
Yeah, that was it.
That. It was intentional. Ooh.
Calculated.
Big move with Bonyth plays here. Oh man, that was crazy to me. That whole situation with Bonyth clearly in such a dominant position here. I think there might be a Reaver in that shuttle.
There is. These goons don't have range either. This game's over, Machine. It's 7 goons versus 8 goons plus 2 Zealots plus a Reaver. And it's Monopoly where you can just fly right into the main with your Reaver. There's no hope of holding this. And behind this, there's no cannons, there's no storm. He's going into 4-gate.
I mean, what else do you do? There's no way he's holding a natural from here. Looks like he's got a couple Dragoons on the high ground, going to try to stall this timing, but Bonyth very confidently moving up this ramp. Reaver dropping, making some scarabs and stuff. But yeah, it looks like he's just going to be able to use this high ground into the main to prevent Zhanhun's Dragoons from really getting on top of much of anything, right? Reaver is full health, Shuttle is full health. These Dragoons just trickling in one by one and falling, and wow, just like that, man, Bonyth dominating Zhanhun in this game number 3.
Yeah, this does not look like last season at all. Like, this is just clear well, not necessarily clear outplay, but this was a clear outplay. This game in particular, game 2 was obviously very close. Game 1 was close also, but now Bonyth seems to have gotten Zhanhun's number, at least in this particular game. Reaver is still alive. Did it still have full health? Okay, no. 17 kills! Holy smokes!
Yeah, it's not gonna die either. Now he's gonna have what he needs to just get some scarab damage into the main, and yeah, GG is called there. Wow. Massive outplay there from Bonyth. Really, really well done, man. And that's how you retake a series. He's now up 2-1 against Zhanhun. Yeah, maybe he got a little lucky calling the DT with an observer opener, but at the same time, man, that's why it's such a risk to throw some of those plays in there if you're Zhanhun.
Yeah, I was a little bit worried that the observer is going to move across the map when I saw it moving. I was like, no, not like this, man. Not like this. Especially after it felt like Zhanhun. Like, I like Zhanhun's move back up into the high ground to make sure his goons didn't give away range. But at the same time, it was like, dude, why are you running away from 3 goons when I only have 3 goons? When you have 3 goons and 2 zealots, like, don't you win that fight? But now Zhanhun's on the ropes. It's 2-1 in favor of Bonyth, and it's Bonyth's pick now. And it's Longinus, and you're gonna have to build a lot of units versus Bonyth on this particular map, because if he 2-gates you and you 1-gate without a ramp, you might be outright dead.
Yeah, you definitely might be outright dead. I mean, I always favor the 3 gates on a map like Longinus, right? Anytime there's no ramp, it should just be Dragoon City. But then, you know, you got the weakness of what if they just go proxy DT or something like that too. It's just how this matchup plays out. So we'll have to see, you know, who ends up calling maybe for the better build here. Bonyth, obviously, when you're feeling confident, you got that 2-1 positioning. I don't know. Do you let your foot off the gas a little bit? Do you just try to play a safe, solid opener, or do you maybe just go for the throat right here? Do you go for like a 3-gate or a proxy gate in the center? I don't know. It's a tough call, honestly.
Yeah, you can proxy gate on Longinus. I remember was it last season or this season? I can't remember. Somebody proxied in the center of the map, so that's also an option. Like, there's a lot of unbuildable terrain in the middle, but there are certain spots where you can proxy. So we could see something like that, but if it's me as Zhanhun, I'm not proxying on potentially my last game of the day. Like, that's just not coming across in my brain. So players are ready. Let's get into potentially the last game of the series. It's game 4, Bonyth up 2-1. We're going into Longinus.
And spawning mid-right as the blue Protoss, currently up 2-1. It is StarCast Bonyth.
Up and in the bottom. He needs your energy, chat. He needs a victory, otherwise he's done. It's Zhanhun. Now, something I always notice with Longinus is it is one of the few maps that has 10 mineral patches. So if you get to mid-game, you're going to have big eco. I think even the natural has 8 patches. So if we actually get a mid-game, this could be serious macro from both sides.
I love it, man. Yeah, it's one of my favorite things about this map, honestly, is like just the potential of big eco. You gotta mention the high ground double gas bases as well. If one of those gets taken PvP, I mean, it's lights out, right? You could just make so many Templars, so many Archon, Reaver, all those fun gas heavy units that Protoss loves to play with. So, you know, this has the potential to be a pretty epic map to, you know, start things off.
Yep, and all eyes for me are in Bonyth's base. Are we going to see 2-gate? We've got the first one coming down for both sides, obviously a 10-gate. Neither player scouting just yet. Both players have been scouting generally after gas, so nothing unusual so far from what we've seen.
Gas from both players. This will not be a 2-gate. I mean, I think that's a pretty decent call. Like, rush distance, nat to nat is... I mean, it feels like slightly longer than you'd maybe want. It's definitely not as close as like what we just saw in Monopoly or something like that. So these players definitely know what they're doing. They should be able to hold any type of early zealot pressure.
Mirrored builds from both sides. We've got cybernetics coming in. Well, slightly faster scout timing from Bonyth, but pretty much exactly the same so far. Neither player has built a Zealot just yet. We do have Zealot coming in for Zhanhun right now, and Zealot coming in for Bonyth, so everything is exactly identical. Now, Longinus does have a lot of places that you could hide tech, but don't see that as often in PvP. Also, remember, Probe's going to get into your base and get a count on the pylons, so they're going to know if you've proxied or not.
Yeah, that's honestly like kind of interesting thing about PvP is the fact that you can just like put a pylon randomly on the map, right? And your opponent doesn't know if you're proxying or proxying tech somewhere, or maybe it's just nothing, right? Maybe it's just a random pylon living somewhere. It's kind of crazy.
Well, there's range for Zhanhun. I was paying attention to the gas. It's 150 spent, 150 spent for Bonyth. So literally mirrored builds right now. And we had mirrored builds last game also. So we'll see if anybody wants to deviate once the probe gets pushed out of the base. Second gate for Bonyth. And did he see it?
I think he did. I think he saw it. I mean, it was, right there next to the other gateway. I'm pretty sure he saw it. And that's going to queue up a second and maybe even a third gateway for Zhanhun here, which I think is a great call on this map.
Well, this is where mind games really start coming in. I know that you know that you saw the 2 gate, so I know that you could be going for 3 gate to just, overrun my 2 gate. We'll see if Bonyth can sniff that out. Will he go for a 3rd gate himself? Doesn't seem like it. He's banking a lot of gas, so this is typically indicative of robo follow-up.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going robo on this map, you really need to go into it with the plan of playing very defensive, right? No ramp is always very scary PvP for early game pressure, so still no robo down from Bonyth. Looks like he's really prioritizing that early Dragoon count, which is good, right? Especially against a 3 gate. And there we go.
Ooh. Probe gets in. Does it?
Maybe not.
No, it does not. Does not get vision of the robo, and he only sees 1 gate. So for now, I don't think Zhanhun should expect 3 gate because he did just see 2 goons pop out at once. So he will have slight goon advantage. Now this could be an overstep from Bonyth here, but he has really good reaction time. I don't think he'll lose anything, but he does need to be careful.
Yeah, he definitely needs to be careful. There we go. We already see the pullback. Oh, but he moves in. Dragoon's being focus fired here. Big damage going down. But actually, Zhanhun going to come out ahead here, it looks like, with the Dragoon count. And yeah, it looks like maybe Bonyth overstayed his welcome a little bit.
Yeah, and that's huge, obviously. And Bonyth is going to bleed off this Zealot to get a count on the gates, and he sees that it's 3 gate. Now, Longinus has quite an open natural. Like, look how open that main gap is right there. Like, that's a lot of surface area. So it forces out a battery from Bonyth. He needs to scramble to get up as many goons as possible. And look, Zhanhun still has a Zealot alive, which can soak up tons of hits.
Yeah, that's a full health Zealot too. Still no support bay either for Bonyth, so I don't think Reaver's... Okay, there we go. Reaver's still going to be a ways away. I like the battery call out though. He's really going to need everything he can to hold this. Ooh, Citadel follow up from Zhanhun.
That doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to be for DTs. It could be, but this could be the Nyoken special 3 gate, 4 gate goon speed Zealot. But here we go. We're not even going to get into that, I don't think. It's 6 goons versus 7 with a battery, but there's also an additional Zealot, and there is just way too many goons. 2 goons fall instantly for Bonyth, and this could be it. Zhanhun could be on the brink of tying the series, but a Zealot and goon pop out.
Yeah, Zealot and Goon pop out, but Zhanhun wisely targeting the units far away from that battery. There's just going to be no hope to get these units healed up. Probes being pulled from Big Bonyth, getting a little bit of extra damage on those 2 Dragoons, but the rally now showing up for Zhanhun, and yeah, he's just denying any and all production here from Bonyth.
And what a decisive attack from Zhanhun there. The Reaver pops out, but this is not going to be a DeWalt Reaver like yesterday. The battery saves it for a while, but there it is. GG. Zhanhun, he brings it back 2-2.
Just a solid timing there. 3 gate opener on Longinus. Bonyth not quite able to retreat in time, make the best use of that battery and get a reaver out, because, if he maybe got that reaver out at the end there, with his control, he definitely could have held, but, Zhanhun just making the most of the opportunity, so very well done there, and that's going to tie up the series once again, Nyokin, 2-2, man. Nothing but epic games here.
Yeah, they are very, very close. And you mentioned if he had the Reaver, maybe he could have held it. But remember, this was not 1-gate robo. So the fact that Zhanhun saw it was 2-gate means he knew he had, a little bit of time before the Reaver could come out. So it was a really nice, decisive attack from Zhanhun. He knew his window of opportunity. And I liked how he was going Citadel, whether it was DT or Zealot. Most likely DT, because if it's DT, Bonyth's panicking to get out Reavers, right? He's not thinking about getting Observers. So even if Bonyth didn't outright die right there, probably the DT follow-up would have killed him. So nicely done from Zhanhun. And now we're going into Game 5. This is for all the marbles machine. And you know what we're going to? We're going to, what is this, 3-year-old map? Sylphid.
Oh boy, Sylphid, man. The map that is, just standing the test of time at this point, I guess. Quite a few folks, really enjoy this map. It is a staple map, very balanced for, just about every matchup, I'd say. But once again, going to be another one of those funky PvP maps with no ramp leading to the main. I wonder if, what Bonyth's going to have to do to kind of adjust here. Do you just go for 3-gate yourself, on a map like Sylphid?
Yeah, you might. I don't know.
So,
I'm trying to think how Bonyth has played all series long. Like, he's played pretty safe, right, other than the Vermeer game? I imagine he's probably going to do the same thing.
Yeah, I would imagine he's probably going to end up doing something similar. He's, we haven't seen him 3-gate even once. He loves that Robotech, and why not, right? He's got Bonyth Reavers, so can't really blame him for that. But with that, both of our players are ready to go. This is going to be the third place match finals here. Game number 5 between Bonyth and Zhanhun on Neo Sylphid. And spawning bottom left as the blue Protoss from China, it is Zhanhun.
And in the red, looking to make it into the finals for like the billionth time, it is Bonyth.
All right, Sylphid, man. Once again, another map without a ramp to the main. I'm nervous. I'm nervous just to kick this one off.
Yeah, you do got to be careful without the rampless maps. I do see, or I do notice, Bonyth's pylon again, not very far forward. So probably going to be another 1-gate opener from him, just simply based on the one time he went for 2-gate and how he positioned the pylon. I'm assuming that just indicates that we're going to be going for a normal opener again. And again, this is another map that has a tiny entrance, so you get that Zealot in position. You're going to be able to deny scouting.
Yep. Which is just so key, especially on a map like this and in a series like this, honestly. We're seeing pretty much mirror builds out of Zhanhun as well. Pylon pretty close to the Nexus in the main. First gateway down. There we go. Gas down for both players. So yeah, this is going to be fairly similar builds from each to kind of kick things off here.
Yep, and again, the gas scout timing from Bonyth. And no scout timing from Zhanhun just yet. And you can see Bonyth. Is he going to scout the center? Yes, he does. He will make sure that he's not getting proxy gated. I think that's smart, especially in Game 5. And here we go.
Yeah, pretty wise decision there. Probe scout going out for Zhanhun. Might just barely miss Bonyth's probe walking into his natural. And Bonyth going to get first scout off here in game number 5. We'll see nothing out of the ordinary. Core down. Gateway completed, mining with 3 on gas, all the stuff you'd kind of expect to see PvP here. Looks like Bonyth's core just about to finish up as well. Doing a little bit of harass on that gas, I like that.
Yep, and there's the Zealot, and I don't think we're going to see anybody instantly go Citadel, but I guess it could be a possibility. Bonyth got the additional 50 gas already simply from that probe harassment. I mean, it's not the biggest of deals, but at the highest levels it does impact you a little bit, and we do see both players again not going for anything crazy. It is range opener from both sides.
Yeah, this is you know, the one time where Bonyth able
gap.
to deny the scouting. Oh, there is a gap. I was just gonna say how big of a deal it is that he can't scout, but actually, Zhanhun going to be able to scout inside the main now. Looking around for that spinning core. We know Bonyth's going range, but I don't think he doesn't really know that for sure. Yeah, just a single gateway so far. This probe will probably end up falling here.
Oh, he almost got out because you can glitch through those eggs with the probe. So that
Yeah,
was
going for it.
a cute attempt from Zhanhun, but it ends up not working out for him. And again, Bonyth is banking that gas, so it does look like, again, we're going to have one gate robo, and there it is, right smack dab in the center. And Zhanhun, I think he just put down a robo himself. So we've got exactly similar openers from both sides. Oh my god, that's not bits,
Whoa.
machine. That's a
That's
dollar
not
symbol
bits?
on the left side. Yeah, that's not bits. That's
Man, I wish-
$1,000. Holy smokes, my fleeting dream. Thank you so much.
That's got to be the biggest donation, right? Dang, my fleeting dream. Nice job, man. Thank you so much for your contribution. Wow.
Yeah, just absolutely huge. We've like gone up 50% from our total starting the day. I think it was like 5.5k. Now we're at 7.5k. We're getting closer and closer. Really, really big thanks to all of you that are supporting the BSL right now with your huge donation. And we do have, again, 2-gate robo from both sides. So if we do have a big engagement in the center of the map somewhere, it's going to come down to pure micro, which I would love to see someone just outclass the other one.
Yeah, I mean, I absolutely would as well. But, I mean, these guys are just so tight, like neck and neck. I think it's going to be a dogfight, man. I think there's not going to be an outclassing at all here. Bonyth obviously shown such amazing Reaver capability in the past. So is Zhanhun, man. It's it's actually going to be observatory for both so far. Man, each of these players just not wanting to lose to anything gimmicky in this finals here, and I gotta say I fully support this. You know, this is really how you want to do it, especially when you're in such a close best of 5 series.
Yeah, and literally the builds are exactly the same. And look at the supply. It's 43. Remember, the only units that's been lost is Zhanhun's probe. The support bay, exact same timing. Shuttles out for both players, exact same timing. Observatory, same timing. This is literally identical. Both players cutting at the same time. Look, Nexus not blinking for either side. The only difference right now is Bonyth queued up a Reaver. That's the entire difference. There's the queued up Reaver for Zhanhun.
Yeah, just amazing, like mirrored timings from both these players here. They've got it figured out, you know. A little bit of a move out here from Zhanhun. I was not expecting this, you know. Is he maybe just like trying to get his units out on the map so he just picks the Reaver up and has a faster move out time? That's kind of what I'm assuming here.
Yeah, he may feel like he wants to have priority on the map. Also, if Bonyth makes a move and he like wanders into the darkness, or he doesn't expect units to just be positioned there, you know, Zhanhun could get some free shots off. It's an interesting position to sit right here. And actually, Zhanhun may be making the first deviation in builds. He's setting up like he wants to build a Nexus, whereas Bonyth is focusing all of his... Oh, here we go. That's going to be that engagement that I was talking about. Reaver advantage, I would say right now. Actually, unit advantage for Bonyth. This is the engagement that Bonyth really wants. Reaver unloads, gets off a big shot. Bonyth's Reaver has not connected yet.
There we go. First connect. Shuttle going down, though, from Zhanhun. Oh, man, this is just neck and neck here. Actually, Zhanhun with the better rally will clean this up. Shuttle not being focused down, though, but still, slight advantage here for Zhanhun in the Dragoon count department. Reaver trying to walk up, but I don't think he can push into the main here with this Shuttle Reaver.
No, that would be suicide to push in here now. Well, he can't lose the Observer. Cannot lose the Observer. Both sides can't lose it. Now he doesn't know where the goons are. It's so dangerous to leave your Reaver that far forward. And now Zhanhun has a big advantage. He's got like, I think 3 goon advantage. He has enough money, or I thought he was about to have enough money to put down a Nexus. And this triggers a 3rd gate from Bonyth.
Yeah, and he knows that his opponent's going to be able to scout this 3rd gateway as well after losing that observer. So kind of a shocking decision there. Zhanhun still does not have a shuttle, it looks like, for that Reaver, so there's not much aggression potential out of Zhanhun at the moment. And with this, Bonyth going to be forced to apply the pressure here once this 3rd gateway's up.
Well, the Reaver did not die for Zhanhun, I don't think. It was just the shuttle, right? So
right.
Even Reaver count, even shuttle count right now. Goon count is slightly in favor. What's it? 4 advantage and maybe 2 advantage now that those pop out. Oh, that's a very far Reaver. What? Does not
snipes the obs.
Take advantage. He gets the ob, and now we're gonna have that Reaver micro battle that we always have. I'm not sure if that connected or not.
I don't think it did. I think it was just barely picked up by both players. Man, to avoid the Scarab by constantly walking away from it, that was really nicely done out of Bonyth there. Is this an elevator?
Go. Yeah, it's going to be another elevator. Now remember, Bonyth did this on Vermeer. And remember, he's got the observer advantage, so he knows what's sitting there, whereas Zhanhun doesn't. And Zhanhun's not reinforcing this position. Also, does Zhanhun just have 1 Reaver? He only unloaded 1. I think this is a smart move to back up. Just move back. You know you've got goon advantage right now. No need to risk it. And that's exactly what Zhanhun's doing.
Man, it's like he expects the elevator even without seeing it. That is just a crazy gut call there from Zhanhun to back up, but it ends up being absolutely the right call. Bonyth powering out of his 3 gateways, no Nexus to his name at the natural. Reaver's moving across as well. And suddenly, I mean, Bonyth finds himself in a position where he's got to get some damage done here, Nyokin, or this could be the game.
We've got both. Oh my god, he's gonna avoid the army. And if, oh my god, we're gonna have another base trade scenario. If Zhanhun turns around, he's not gonna have the angle. Oh, is he gonna turn around?
Zhanhun is gonna turn around.
He's gonna cut off the Reaver too. He's gonna have the angle here. Remember, units clump up heavily in this position, but those Reavers are very far forward. He's gonna lose the shuttle. Now it's gonna be massive advantage with the Reavers for Zhanhun. Zel's soaking up a lot of hits. Look how clumped these Reavers. 1 falls. Look at the supplies are plummeting for Zhanhun. Did Bonyth do it?
He somehow might have, man. Both shuttles falling. Though Bonyth coming out ahead has the Dragoon count advantage. 2 Reavers still alive. Yeah, he might have done it here. It looks like Bonyth rallying in.
Look at the center of the map. He's not even using his whole army. As soon as he finds these goons, he's gonna have so many goons in advantage over Zhanhun. Zhanhun's lost some probes now also. He's moving in. Now this could be a mistake. This is 4 gate. Also has Robo. But I mean, the Reaver is so ridiculously strong. He hits 3 goons in a single shot. He's going to get probes and he's going to get the goon. This is it, machine. We're going to have the Walt Bonyth finals. And this is going to be an epic finals.
I can't believe it, man. He's done it once again from, I mean, such a unfortunate position, right? Going into that, he was forced to spam down the 3rd gateway. This was the only timing Bonyth could have hoped for to make a comeback in this game. But where there's a will, man, there's a way. And he has done it once again. Bonyth, I would say the dark horse of this season's BSL, will be moving into the grand finals here to go up against Beast in DeWalt, man. What an epic series here. 3 Gs going out there from Zhanhun, and Bonyth has done it, man. He's moving into the grand finals.
I can't believe it. I thought that the win in the center of the map, the overwhelming advantage in terms of goons, I thought for sure there's no way that Zhanhun would ever lose a fight. But picking off those observers was critical. Like, Zhanhun built 3 Reavers. He had Reaver advantage, right? But he had no vision, none, 0 vision on the center of the map. And that allowed Bonyth to get into position. And like I said, if Zhanhun turned around, he's going to be choked up. And that's exactly what happened. The Reavers had haymakers. I thought that the Reavers were actually going to die from Bonyth once the shuttle fell. But they never did. And they dealt so much damage.
They did, man. It was just perfect positioning. Even going up those ramps, which, you know, Reavers normally have such a difficult time firing. Bonyth he puts them in that special spot and they go to work, man. Even though Zhanhun had the shuttle advantage for the majority of that last fight, it didn't seem to matter, man. Bonyth, he just has such good unit control, such good timing, such good positioning. And I mean, he gets it done. He takes out Zhanhun to make it to this finals to face off against Dawid, man. You couldn't ask for a more epic storyline.
Yeah, and you know, I'm sure a lot of people want to see Zhanhun in the finals, but we know for a fact that more people want to see Dawid versus Bonyth, because as I've stated numerous times, Bonyth is Dawid's nemesis, but Dawid this time around has looked so strong this season. He ends up taking down Zhanhun yesterday, also just like Bonyth did right here, and this is going to be one for the ages. This could be it's not technically, I think, the first championship for Dawid, but the first one in a long time if he could win here, and this could be like, what, the 6th championship potentially for Bonyth. It would also be his return to the top, because he's been out of the top for like 3 seasons now, so you know he really wants it bad.
Oh, absolutely, he wants it bad. You can see it in his gameplay, man. I mean, he had some of the most dominant victories against, you know, players like Zeke. You know, he even previously took a series off of Dawid in, you know, this tournament. So it's kind of crazy to me, like how consistent Bonyth has been throughout so many seasons. And, you know, like I said, I kind of think of him as the dark horse this year, right? Everybody at the start of the season is talking about Mihu. Then everybody's talking about Dawid. Everybody's talking about Zhanhun. But, you know, Dawid's just kind of come into it with this attitude like, that's fine, man. You can keep talking about whoever. I'm still going to be showing up. I'm knocking at the door, man. So this is just amazing, man. Like you said, we couldn't have asked for, you know, such an epic grand finals to witness. And yeah, man, it's gonna be a lot of fun.
Yeah, well, we're gonna go into a break, and then we're gonna come back with that finals PvP Dawid versus Bonyth, one of the best finals, one of the most anticipated finals ever. So definitely do not go anywhere.